Hey guys, and welcome to part 20 of the Minardi Manager Career Mode, where, well, last episode you saw the Australian Grand Prix, which was promising for us, to be honest, but we're hoping for a little bit better, in the upcoming Brazilian Grand Prix. No, that's the Imola. The upcoming Brazilian Grand Prix, with the lap record that was actually set last year, apparently, by, McLaren. Obviously he's now no longer in the sport, but we're going to see if we can get close to that lap record. But that race is in the 24th of March, so 12 days time. So you know the drill by now. I'm going to see if there's any news that comes up, and if there's anything interesting, then I'll tell you about it. So I'll see you guys then. Okay, so hey guys, so, well, we have got a bit of news. Really, it's just Magneti and Marelli are rumoured to be supplying electronics for Ferrari next year. But that's really bad. It's just sponsorship stuff after that. I've got weekly reports, yada yada yada. Don't care. But yeah, as I said, I think I said this right a couple of episodes back. I've said it so it sends me the these news updates every well, okay, it advances every time I get a new bit of news rather than every week, which it did last year rather, where loading screens took a lot longer. But new components still for Ferrari, that is that they are going to be using Magneti and Marelli electronics. So I think that they're using Magneti and Marelli's already. I'm not 100% certain, but obviously Italian team, Italian electronics makes sense, especially as they're the best electronics around, and you know, we're using them and we're also an Italian team, so it's that Italian connection. But yeah, we'll wait and see if this new screen comes up and see if there's anything interesting in it. When it comes up. Okay, no news, but Mercedes-Benz have sent us the third model of engines. That should be, well, obviously that's an improvement, but let's see by how much. So we used the second model, obviously, last race. What's the second model? That's rated 94 with 756 horsepower. So this new one, they've only said it's 15, but I suppose that's enough. But 96 rated, because it's got 2 extra horsepower, I believe. Is it 2 extra? Yeah, 2 extra horsepower, but the rating's up by 2. So that's brilliant now, actually. So we got an even better engine, and obviously, just as a reminder, we're the only team this year using Mercedes-Benz engine. So hopefully that should improve our dominance over the rest of the field. Much like F1 at the minute, really, of the 2015 season. But yeah, anyway, no, yeah, I'll cut to any more news as and when it comes out. So I'll see you then. Okay, so hey guys, so we have got some more news. It's just the benefits really of having good suppliers, because Magneti and Marelli have sent us their 4th model of electronics, which obviously will be improved by 1 rating from the previous one. And AP Racing have sent us their 4th model of brakes, which again will be a improvement of 1 rating. So before we use the 3rd model for each of them, which was rated 97 for both the electronics and brakes, and that's rated 98. So again, so already the car's going improved a lot from the Brazilian Grand Prix to the Australian Grand Prix, so hopefully we can get further up the field. But yeah, as I say, I'll cut to any more news as and when I get it. So I'll see you guys then. Okay, so hey guys, so we didn't have any more news. Well, we had one bit of sponsor news from Stewart GP, but that was it really. So we got the Brazilian Grand Prix, which a lap record 1:16.9. We're going to see if we can get close to the Drivers' Championship at the minute. Obviously, Schumacher dominating. Well, I say dominating. He won the last race, but he won it by a landslide. So he's winning the drivers at the minute. Constructors, Ferrari are winning that. But there's still not that many teams. Well, there's still only a handful of teams that scored points. But hopefully, even if we get 1 point, we'll be shoved right up with around Benetton. So where's that? That's 5th. Well, we need to get at least 6th this season. So hopefully the Brazilian Grand Prix can be kind to us, and hopefully we can achieve good stuff there. And now I have cut out the practice reports from this series. Basically, what's going to happen is you'll still get the qualifying report, but if something interesting happens in practice, I'll put it in between now and the qualifying report. But if nothing interesting happens in practice, then it's just going to go straight to the qualifying report. So we'll see for the, well, yeah, I'll see for the newly revamped race section to this series. So I'll see you guys for either some interesting practice news, but only if it's interesting, or the qualifying report for the Brazilian Grand Prix. So I'll see you guys then. Okay, so hey guys, so I know I said I wasn't going to do a practice report, and this isn't a practice report, but those are the results. I'm not on about the results, I'm just on about one tiny result, and that's Michael Schumacher's lap time of a 1:15.1. I mean, two things. One, that is total domination over the rest of the field. But two, he's miles faster than Häkkinen's race lap record already, so if he can have that result in the race, and that's just going to be blistering. But anyway, yeah, that's the interesting practice stuff. But I'm going to cut you to a qualifying report now. So I'll see you guys then. Okay guys, and here we are for the second qualifying session this season, and actually the second Grand Prix weekend of this 2000 season, and we have had some mind-blowing results. I mean, we maybe could have predicted them coming, but they've just been absolutely mind-blowing nonetheless, so let's have a quick look at them. Michael Schumacher tops the timesheets again, and it's already seeming like this is going to be a really dominant season for him, but despite that, he set a lap time around a second slower than he did in practice, which is a 1:16.2. But even then, that lap time, if replicated in the race, could still be a race lap record round Interlagos. And now the second result is absolutely blistering. It is a Minardi. Now this is the first time ever a Minardi has qualified inside the top 6, and it's Mika Salo who's got the bragging rights here, qualifying in second in the Minardi with the Mercedes-Benz engine. And now we've heard from team boss Piers Lutton just before this event that Mercedes had sent the team an exclusive third model of this dominant Mercedes-Benz engine, and it seems to have really boosted the team along with Mika Salo in second. But amazingly, not only have Minardi got one car in the top 6 in qualifying, they've got a second car in the top 6 in qualifying, in fact a second car in the top 3 in qualifying, because Damon Hill has qualified just behind his teammate in third with a 1:19.1, which is half a second behind Mika Salo and nearly 3 seconds behind Michael Schumacher, but it's still an amazing performance for the Italian-based plucky team, which has finished just behind the main Italian team. Now Giancarlo Fisichella is in 4th in the McLaren. Now the McLaren, which used to have the Mercedes-Benz engine, has now fallen behind the only Mercedes-Benz engine team, but still putting up an amazing performance with Giancarlo Fisichella in a respectable qualifying position in 4th. Now Ralf Schumacher is in 5th in the Williams, setting a lap time 4 seconds slower than his brother Michael Schumacher, although Ralf is the quickest Williams driver by far this qualifying session. And Johnny Herbert, Giancarlo Fisichella's teammate, is down in 6th in the other McLaren with its other Ford Zetec engine. Now both Benettons are 7th and 8th, with Jean Alesi in 7th and David Coulthard in 8th. Heinz Alfrenz is in 9th in the Jordan, and now Neil McEwen couldn't replicate his teammate's dominating performance. And while this is only Neil McEwen's second ever F1 qualifying session, it's still really disappointing how he finished 4.6 seconds behind his teammates. Now Bruins Barrichello is 11th in the other Jordan. Both Stewarts have had a fairly disappointing session, with them being 12th and 13th, with Videovine 12th and Jarno Trulli 13th. Jacques Villeneuve, the former world champion, didn't qualify in the former world champion's position, as he's in 14th. Ricardo Zonta is in 15th in the Prost. Takaki is in 16th in the Williams, and he has had a dreadful qualifying session considering his teammate is in 5th. Alexander Wirtz is in 17th, Laurent Redon in the other BAR is 18th, Pedro Diniz is 19th, Zanardi is way down in 20th, which is really disappointing for the former Williams driver, as his teammate is in 17th. And then both ours make up the back of the grid, rather unsurprisingly, but with Marc Genet ahead of Pedro de la Rosa, despite Pedro de la Rosa having a year's extra experience at the team. Okay, so hey guys, so that's just been the qualifying report, and I hope you liked how we had the qualifying report and not the practice report. Well, we got rid of the practice report to save time. And as you can see, I fit a brand new, not zero wear parts to our Minardis. Well, we got it for Mick as well, and we just have. And then what's the race strategy for this race? Mike Gascoigne is predicting a one stop to be the best strategy, so let's just tell Mick to pit in a lap later, obviously, so they don't double stack and put on 3 litres of extra fuel to be safe. Yeah, and it was a one stop apparently because it's relatively low tyre wear around this track, so that's good to hear. But let's see how the race pans out. So we gotta go TV camera, obviously, and you see that. Look at that, and a Minardi, a front row start for Minardi. I mean, how often do you see that? Never, never, ever, ever do you see a front row start for a Minardi. Right, okay, so Mick there, and it says he's in first, but that's a glitch because obviously we know Michael Schumacher's in first. But can Mick jump Michael Schumacher at the start? Now that would be blistering. God, this frames per second is terrible. But Mick has retained his position. That's good. Now Damon Hill has cut off Giancarlo Fisichella, and I think he's got past Mick. He has as well, actually. Damon Hill protected his teammate and then just shot straight past him, and that is exactly what I would expect from the former world champion, but also the British former world champion. And who's this BAR of? I believe that's Jacques Villeneuve. He's about to be passed. He's just been passed by Stewart. And what's this? Sauber? Is that Sauber getting past the other BAR? That'll be of the rookie Laurent Redon. And no, he hasn't got past. The BAR's got just enough performance to hold off the position there. I see the PlayStation Minardi. Oh god, we're holding up a train. Okay, I know. Something I never said during the qualifying report is our qualifying laps, but for both of our drivers, were set when they were told to go and risk everything. So we kind of shouldn't really be that far up. I mean, as you saw in practice, we were about, was it 10th and 12th? I don't really know. I didn't really look, to be honest. I was just scared of the practice results. Couldn't risk everything. Become faster than everyone, bar Michael Schumacher. Michael Schumacher's pretty dominant. And there's the... Whoa, hang on. The Arrows has got past the Prost. Hopefully that's Marc Genet. Because Marc Genet... we want people to know that Minardi breed talent. And is that... God, that's Neil McEwen, who had a very interesting Australian Grand Prix. Jumping Michael Schumacher at the start. It was bonkers, but he's nowhere near. Where did he qualify? Like 10th, I believe. So absolutely nowhere near. Oh no, Marc Genet's the one who's in last, and David Coulthard. I'm surprised David Coulthard's behind his teammate. I mean, sure, Jean Alesi's not a bad driver, but David Coulthard, I'd expect him to be ahead of Jean Alesi. Guys, God, what is going on? Hang on. Oh no, right, okay. I thought both of them were in first and second. Then no, we're already 6 seconds behind Schumacher. I know Schumacher's dominating, and I know we've qualified way too high up, but look at that! 7.8 seconds behind 8. Okay, let's just accelerate time. No, yeah, no, Fisichella's got past us, but obviously McLaren have got that Neil Oatley designed chassis, and obviously we've got Neil Oatley with us for this season, but we haven't got his chassis. That's coming next season. Now Neil McEwen's jumped up to 4th, 3rd now. Last race I believe he retired. I don't know whether it's his fault or whether it was a car failure, but I mean it shows how dominant Ferrari are this year. Sort of similar to how they were in the real life 2000 season. Because Neil McEwen, rookie, and he's just cut through the field and is now pulling away from Giancarlo Fisichella in the McLaren. And speaking of pulling away, who's pulling away from us? Pretty much everyone. Even Takaki has pulled away from us. He's in 6th. What's that? Marc Genet, driver error. Well, we didn't see that last year, did we? No. Yeah, okay, we did see that last year. Just in case there was a confusion, that we did see it last year. I'll show a clip of it now, actually. Whoa, hang on. Okay, I saw both of our guys. God, I saw both of our guys drop down. I just thought that was some pit stop thing, but both of our guys have gone up due to driver error. What? They're only on hold position. Yeah, the Brazilian Grand Prix was a pretty fun race, to be honest. Both of our drivers retiring. But obviously, Mika Salo, Damon Hill, surely they've got the talent to not retire this race. I mean, Marc Genet doesn't have the talent. He didn't have the talent last year. He still doesn't have the talent this year to go a race without retiring on his own, on his own fault. But Mika Salo is in 11th. That's still a somewhat competitive position. And now, if you look at how many retirements we had last year, well, I mean, I'm not showing you, but I'm just saying, last year, only the top 11 cars, I believe, finished the Brazilian Grand Prix last race. Well, it was a race of high attrition, lots of car retirements. Apparently, it's pretty tough on the cars, and seemingly, according to Marc Genet, tough on the drivers. Either that, or he's just an idiot. Yeah, only the top 10 cars finished the race last year. Mika Salo is in 7th. Okay, I'll look down for 1 second to see the race results last year. And Mika Salo was up. He was up just with everyone else. Laurent Redon, BAR, bargeable failure. Takaki's out driver error. God, I thought Williams spotted true talent then. I thought Williams had scouted true future potential talent. No, they've just scouted an idiot, really. Driver error. Although he did score points last race, I believe, did he? Yeah, he scored points last race. I'm pretty certain he came 5th. But yeah, there's Heinz-Hal Frentzen, fuel error in the Jordan. And now we're still in the midfield. So we could still mount a challenge if lots of the cars ahead of us get into some kind of reliability difficulty, or they all just crash off. But Neil McEwen, he's still... I know I tipped at the start of the season McLaren to win the Constructors, but that's only because I thought Neil McEwen was just going to retire every race. But at the minute, second, he's way ahead of Fisichella. He might actually finish this race and pick up 6 valuable points for Ferrari. And what have we had? We've had a couple more retirements. Wirtz with an engine failure. Jarno Trulli, rather disappointingly, bargeable failure, because he didn't score any points last year in the Prost. And he'd be looking to score some points with Stewart, but Stewart seems to have gone downhill a bit. And Neil McEwen's in 3rd. I'm sure he'll be happy to just finish the race. Neil McEwen's out with electronics failure. And I believe they're using the same electronics as us, Magneti and Marelli, so hopefully we won't get a retirement. But we're just outside the points. 7th, we just need 1 more retirement. Sean Lacey, come on, you can be that man to retire. Yes! Mika Salo's in 6th, he's going to get some points. It was David Coulthard who retired, I believe. Yes, it was David Coulthard with an electronics failure. Wow, that was excitement, wasn't it? Mika Salo, so we've got our first point for Minardi. Wow, that's our first point on nearly true pace. I mean, the only other times we scored points were just sheer amounts of retirements. But look at that. I mean, that's brilliant. Both of our drivers finished, unlike last year where both of them retired. Only the top 11 cars finished this race. I mean, that's still better than last season where only the only 10 cars finished. And let's have a look at the results. Where'd the Arrows come? Oh yeah, well, Marc Genet retired, obviously. But Pedro de la Rosa, in the Arrows, not a bad finish, really. I mean, it's not points, but, what can you do? Prost, still yet to score points in this series. Prost is still the only team in this entire series not to score points. Amazingly, we finished ahead of a former world champion, but Mika Salo scoring points is brilliant for us. Absolutely brilliant. It was thanks to David Coulthard's electronics failure. Bearing in mind that this is a electronics failure, not a driver retirement, so it is kind of a cheap way to win the race. But David Coulthard, unlucky for him, electronics failure, and I do like David Coulthard, but luckily his car broke down and we were able to snatch a point. Now that should put us in 6th in the Constructors. Yes, it will actually. That will put us in 6th in the Constructors, and that's where we need to be for next season. Yeah, that's where we need to be. So yeah, there you go. Brilliant result. Schumacher dominates the race again. Both McLaren 2nd and 3rd, so in terms of Constructors, McLaren scored just as many points as Ferrari have. So my prediction, McLaren's winning Constructors might still be right, but obviously it's early days, really. Yes, Michael Schumacher wins. Yeah, Michael Schumacher wins Brazilian Grand Prix. Fisichella in second. Johnny Herbert was in third. So, Mike Gascoigne, yeah, our parts are heavily worn. Yeah, I know that already, mate. Neil Oatley. So, update on the tech race. So, Ferrari have the most advanced chassis. We still have the most advanced engine. Ferrari most advanced suspension. We have the most advanced brakes and electronics. Obviously, we already know. So, we have the most advanced suppliers parts, but we already knew that before season started. Stewart GP, surprisingly, considering their performance is nowhere really. Have the most advanced barge boards apparently. We have the most advanced front and rear wings, and Ferrari have the most advanced side pods. So good old Neil Oatley, our chief designer, is actually putting us in contention, in the tech race really for this season, the aero development race. Steffano, Domenicali. Oh yeah, we got 300 grand prize money. I forgot about that. Of course, that's going to help our finances out massively. $300,000 prize money. Yeah, that's brilliant. So yeah, we got 13.4 million now. Drivers' Championship. Mika Salo, obviously, scoring that 1 point for us. He is now vaguely in the Drivers' Championship hunt. Obviously, the chance of him winning it is zilch. I'm not expecting him to win it, but, he's got a point on the board already, and that's brilliant. Damon Hill still hasn't, but there's many more opportunities for him too. And Johnny Herbert's second in the Drivers' Championship. That's surprising, seeing seemingly it looks like he's been just smashed by his teammates so far this season, but Fisichella's got 4 less points than him. And then Constructors' Championship. So we are, Ferrari are first, McLaren second, but just behind, crucially. Williams are third, Stewart are fourth, Benetton are fifth. Actually, Stewart are fourth. Okay, not as badly as I thought they were, but yeah. Benetton fifth, and we're sixth, which is exactly where we need to be for the Constructors' Championship, so I don't get sacked. But Jordan, I'm amazed Jordan haven't scored any points yet. Well, who's their drivers? I believe it's Heinz-Harald Frentzen and... Yeah, it's Rubens Barrichello. Yeah, Rubens Barrichello is Jordan's other driver, obviously alongside Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Now if you go manager ratings, we're still third highest rated manager. Frank Williams, obviously, legendary team manager just ahead of us. And John Todd, obviously, who's dominating this season so far in both drivers and constructors, is rated the best manager. Who's, however, Tom Walkinshaw's fairly high up, I think. They've given him more credit than he deserves, really. Ron Dennis is quite a way down. I suppose it's kind of fair enough. And Eddie Jordan, the worst manager by far. I don't think he'll be happy with that. Yeah, so that's it. Next race is at Imola, and obviously Imola was one of only 2 venues where we scored points last season. And obviously with the car being much faster and the drivers being much faster, hopefully, you never know, we might get a double points finish if we get a mass amount of retirements like we got last race. The race we had last season. So hopefully we can have that. And let's check, I believe Schumacher didn't set the new race lap record actually, because Mick Hakkinen is still apparently the race lap record holder for Brazil, but yeah. And no, anyway, back to the next race, Imola. One of only 2 races where we scored points, with Luca Padova scoring that point for us, which is amazing with that 6th place finish. Takaki finished just ahead of us, which is spellbinding, but obviously that was back in the day when Takaki was at Arrows and we had at the time we had the worst car on the grid. So hopefully we can score more points. You never know, we might beat Takaki, although I do have a feeling his Williams might beat us next race, but we'll see. Be sure to put down in the comments whether you think we're going to score points in the next Imola race. I mean, surely we will, but you never know. I mean, put down in the comments whether you think we'll score points. And I look forward to, the next race at Imola, which I'm really properly excited for. So, I'll see you guys then.